Hi friends, welcome to World Explorer. Today's topic is determinants of behavior. This is a part of psychology series. First concept is nature versus nurture. Is nature affecting our behavior, or is it our environmental forces is affecting our behavior? So there are so many scientists who have argued between this nature and nurture, but it's not just nature or nurture, it is much more than that. And how our behavior is being determined, in this we are going to see in this lecture. So what is behavior? Behavior is nothing but how we react in a certain situation and how we behave in some situation. For example, if you are getting anger, so that is a type of behavior. Why you are getting an anger? What is the reason for it? So all these things we are going to see in this class. So behavior, we see when we are alone, our behavior is different. When we are in social groups, our behavior is different. Let's take an example of altruism. Altruism is nothing but selflessness. So even the selflessness behavior is not selflessness, because it is having an innate aspect of someone is going to help you. Let's take an example of disaster. If we see there is any floods, many of the people start donating the money to the persons who are got affected. Now we cannot say this is completely selflessness. Okay, it may be selflessness, but we cannot say, because if we are helping to someone, indirectly we are asking them to help us when we are in need. Means if India is helping to USA when there is a disaster, it indirectly says that USA is supposed to help India when India is in disaster. So now we are seeing corona pandemic where each and every country is helping each other, and India is in the front line for this. So this is called as altruism behavior. So our behavior is dependent on the reinforcement or the punishment. Reinforcement is nothing but how we are going to improve the behavior. Either we are, this is again two types, it is of positive reinforcement or negative reinforcement. In the positive reinforcement, what we are doing, we are going to give the appreciation to the person so that his behavior can be improved. Sometimes we want to decrease some behavior of a person or a child. So what we do, we give the punishment to them. Once we do the punishment, they think that this should not be done. So let's take an example of sociology. We are having some of the moral conducts, how we should behave in the society. So if we are violating the societal rules, automatically they are going to get punished. So these are all aspects which are determining our behavior. So behavior is a learned aspect, and even we can observe it and also we can measure it. So there is a behavioral model that is called as ABC model. In this model we are going to see antecedent, behavior and consequence. Antecedent is a part of behavior which is causing the behavior. That is, to see our present behavior, we are having some background, that is called as antecedent. Behavior is present situation, and consequence, what will happen to this behavior. Let's take an example of alcoholism. If we are taking alcoholism, what is the antecedent? Antecedent, it may be the peer pressure or it may be the influence of media. So these are the antecedents. Behavior, the behavior is alcoholism. What is the consequence? Consequence is, everyone know, it may affect our health, or also it may lead to so many consequences like societal consequence. Even they are going into the jails because of the crime they are going to commit because of alcoholism, or sometimes they may be doing the rash driving, so even they are going to get accident. All these things will happen. So this is how we are going to study our behavior. So next concept is it appropriate behavior or inappropriate behavior? Let's take an example of standing in a queue. Is it an appropriate behavior or is it an inappropriate behavior? Now let's see, if you are going to Domino's, we see many of the people standing in a queue. So they feel that this is an appropriate behavior, because when everyone is going there, we are behaving as if we are more educated, we are more matured, and we are going to stand in line, we are being modest, and these are the behavior which is being developed in the Domino's culture. Now let's take an example of going into the train in a Bombay metro. So what we see there, we see everyone is rushing into there. When we want to go into a bus, we see in some places they are rushed into the bus directly. They force each other. So this type of behavior is appropriate in one place, but it is not appropriate in another place. So if you are doing the same behavior in Domino's, you will be thrown out of the Domino's. So how to change the behavior? So this is the concept we are going to discuss. So there should be a supportive environment. How it is supportive? Supportive is nothing but we are going to help the person to understand what is causing the behavior and what are the resources available to change the behavior. Let's take an example of alcoholism. We have so many alcoholic anonymous groups are there, so they are going to support each other. So that is how they are going to change the behavior. Next thing is late coming to office. If a person is coming late every day, there are strict policies in corporate environment. They are going to deduct half day salary if they are coming late for second day. If they are coming for third late, they are going to deduct 1 day full salary. Or if they are continuously coming late, they may be called onto the boardroom and they will be given a serious warning or punishment or a memo. Or still if they are not changing the behavior, they even terminate the employee. So if other persons, that is other employees, are seeing this type of behavior, so automatically there is a change of environment in the organization. So this is how we are going to change the behavior of an employee in an organization. Next, correct, support, counsel, reinforce the appropriate behavior. So we are trying to educate them, we are supporting them, we are counseling them, we are telling them this is the policy we are going to follow, and even we are reinforcing that if a person is not getting late for a whole year, we are giving them some appreciation, or we are giving them some compensation, like giving 1 week of salary to them, etc. So like this type of interventions will help to improve the behavior. Ultimately it improves the performance of an organization. So behavior is different at different places. So sustain the positive behaviors and question the negative behaviors or the behavior which is causing the negative consequences. Now we are having some of the cultural influences on the behavior. We see many of the times small children are when they are getting bath in some places of India, we pour oil into the ear. Is it a good practice? No, it is not a good practice, because it is going to cause ear infection. So such type of behavior should be questioned. Even though it is culturally sensitive type of things, we should protect the child at the positive manner. So these are the things which we should think of. So main thing is, to change a behavior we need the family member support and also the peer support. So next we discuss about health behavior. Health behavior is nothing but how an individual is taking actions to affect his health or improving the health, or how is it affecting the mortality. So health behavior is sometimes, is it because of intentional or unintentional. So what type of things we are going to see in this? Well-being of a person, individual and populations, and multi-dimensional determinants. So health is something which is not determined by just genetics, or not just by environment, or not just by the genes. So it is having a multi-dimensional aspect. So we are going to explore all the determinants. So this is the main aspect of this lecture. We are going to see what are the determinants which is causing the behavior, and what are the healthy lifestyles and diseases. Now you see many of the people are not going to do any exercise, and there is an increased cases of obesity in some places, and many of the places they doesn't eat food because of work and stress, so they are going to get the peptic ulcer, and some of the people are not even eating the food, so because of that they are getting anemia, and even the cultural factors are causing the anemia. So these are all the things which we are going to see. These are the things which are affecting the health of a person. Measuring and monitoring the health behavior is the solution. So this is the aspect. Nowadays non-communicable diseases, diabetes and hypertension, so these type of diseases are increasing day by day. So many of the apps are there. We are going to check our own monitoring of health, and even there are the apps which is taking the data and they are trying to collect the data, and they are doing some research and producing the results, and they are even publishing the results for the public to utilize this in a ready-made manner. So smoking, substance abuse, diet, physical activity, sleep, adherence to treatment. So these are all the aspects which we can consider in a health behavior. Now let's see what is behavior determinant. So any factor that produces a behavioral effect is called the determinant. So there are different types of determinants we are going to discuss in this class, that is biological determinants, social determinants, and cultural determinants, situational determinants. So these are the things we are going to discuss. So what is biological determinant? Stress, health and disease. Everyone is busy with their daily life, so everyone is busy, and because of the stress they are affecting their health, and stress has so many implications, and neurotransmitters experience behavior. So because of stress there is an imbalance of neurotransmitters, and again it is affecting their behavior. Example, serotonin influencing the mood behavior. So these are all the things which we are going to study in this biological determinants. So researchers are interested how these neurotransmitters are changing, like serotonin. If there is a low concentration of serotonin, it is linked to the increased incidence of suicide or impulsive aggression and alcoholism. So like these studies are being done. Next thing is the amygdala. This is the brain part which is causing the degree of arousal, modulation of memories, impact on positive or negative emotional impact. So next thing is genetic determinants, heredity, environment and behavior. This is the concept which they have studied from in long back in the 90s. So this is a study which we see, Plomin R 1989, environment and genes, determinants of behavior, by American psychologist. So this study I am not able to get because this is having some of the payment thing, so I am not able to get the full content, but I am going to deal about this concept in the next class. So there are again how the genetic determinants are being studied. They are doing the twin studies to identify the individual differences. So that is how we are going to see in the genetic determinants. Trait studies they are doing, replication studies they are trying to do, environmental influence on the intelligence studies they are doing in the genetic studies. But replication is very difficult in many of the studies till now what they have done, and there are few researches which are available in NCBI website. You can even go through this to learn more about the genetic determinants. Next thing is social determinants, responsibility of societal organizations. So societal organizations play a major role in determining the responsibility. So they are going to like institutions, structures, inequalities, ideologies, they are going to inculcate in the population, socio-economic status, social class, power relations, inequality, cultural diversity. So these are all the social determinants which are affecting our behavior. So next thing is medical sociology, social demography, social epidemiology, social milieu of health. So these are all the aspects which they are doing lot of researches nowadays, and they are generating the new data. Next aspect is the cultural determinants. These are the studies done by PNAS, that is Proceedings of National Academy of USA. In that they are explained about innate and physiological acquired cultural factors in the human development. And advanced, they are telling that we have to use the advanced scientific knowledge to find out the solutions. This is the reference from which I have taken this. Please find the information in this website. Next thing is situational determinants. So these are dealing with limited arousal function, and direction of behavior depends on the individual's disposition. So how they are having the previous experience, that is how they are going to behave in a situation. Study of behavior based solely on the motives and not on the motivation. So what is the motive of a person? So these are the things they are going to study in the situational determinants. Next thing is motive dependent motivational differences in identical situation. So if we are giving a same situation to different persons, they are behaving in a different manner. So what is making them to behave in different manner? So how we are reacting to a certain situation. So these are all the things they are going to study in a situational determinants. So this is the reference from which I have taken the information. Next, self-efficacy, is it a determinant of behavior? Obviously it is a determinant, because if we are having self-worth, that is if we are competitive enough among our peers and friends, automatically our behavior will improve. If our behavior is not appropriate when we are comparing to our friends, that means we are having low confidence. Individuals believe in his or her capacity to execute behaviors necessary to produce specific performance attainments. That is called self-efficacy according to Bandura. He is a psychologist. Confidence, motivation, behavior, social environment. So these are all the determinants of self-efficacy. So we can apply these concepts in smoking cessation, alcohol use behaviors, etc. This is the information taken from apa.org. So let's discuss these determinants with some examples. Our moral conduct. This is dependent on based on the reinforcement, that is positive reinforcement or negative reinforcement. Next thing is Tajin Kyofusho. This is a Japanese social phobia anxiety disorder. Here fear of having self-attitude, behaviors, beliefs or thoughts are different than those of peers. So what they feel is they are having a fear in a society. If they are moving, they feel that their behavior is inappropriate, their behavior is not appropriate to the others. They even feel that their behavior is causing awkwardness to others. So all these type of things they are going to identify. So next thing is, this is even categorized in DSM-5 and in the psychiatric manual DSM-5, that is diagnostic and statistic manual. The main symptoms of this are blushing, inappropriate eye contact, shaking, difficulty speaking, sweating, GI distress, flight response. So these are all the symptoms which we are going to see in this. You can see all of these are because of low self-esteem and embarrassing others by behaving their presence. They feel that they are embarrassing others if they are present in the society. So this is the symptoms they see in that. Now again applying the determinants in a of behavior in the students in a class. Effectiveness of teaching on student behavior. This is a study which is being done, and they say that if teacher is very efficient, if teacher is teaching is good, automatically it improves the student behavior. If teacher is not effective, means if his teachings are not understandable to the students, the behavior of students will get disturbed. They are not going to behave properly in the class. You can see if your class is very much interesting, automatically students will listen to the class without disturbing a class. But if teacher is creating boring or unnecessary topics in between or not teaching in a good manner, automatically students behavior going to change. They may throw the paper on some others, they may behave in a wrong manner, even they comment the teacher, and all those things they are going to do in the class. So we are seeing the behavior analysis in this aspect. We are applying the concepts of psychology, how to improve the behavior of a student. Is it teacher has to improve his behavior or the student has to improve the behavior? So what is causing this behavior? So we have seen already ABC model, that is antecedent, behavior and consequence model. We are applying this in this situation, and even we are identifying the behavior and even assessing the behavior by functional behavioral assessment. We are developing some tools to study the behavior, and even we are having some of the intervention plans, like we are giving the behavior therapies to students, and we are even having some of the group discussions among them, and like that we are going to improve the behavior. Next thing is importance of consistent rules and consequences for the student. If there is some behavior which is not appropriate in a class, so some of the teachers are very strict, they send the students out of the class. It is just to improve the behavior. If one student is expelled from the class, remaining all the students are going to behave in a nice manner. It is some of the fear factor which we are going to create in a student. But how far is it good? Is fear good or for learning? It is not good, I think so, because if we are creating fear in a student, they are not going to learn it in a fun manner. Instead they are going to learn it under pressure, which is not having any good effect on the memory of a students. Next thing is positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, punishment and extinction. So these are all the concepts which we are affecting a behavior of a student. Token economy, modeling, prompting, shaping a classroom. Token economy means we are again giving some of the benefit to students. So this information I have taken from Project Tidal Online. Project Tidal Online. You can see in this website this information. Next thing is alcoholic behavior. So the beliefs about alcohol is a major determinant. So nowadays we see there are some misconceptions. If you are taking alcohol, it is not going to cause diseases. they say that it is an antibiotic or something like that. So this is a misconception which is affecting the person's behavior, so they are more prone to be alcoholic. Alcoholic Anonymous groups, they are supporting each other to stop the alcoholism, and medication support is needed for them. Even we are giving the behavior therapy and improving the self-esteem, and also improving the assertiveness skills of the person. Saying no is most important, because even after they are going rehabilitation, alcoholic rehabilitation, if they are going to the pressures, they don't know how to say no to the peers. They feel that what my friend think if I am saying no to the alcohol. So with some pressure they are going to take the alcohol. So these type of techniques which we are going to teach them how to say no in some situations. Next thing is smoking. The determinants are gender. Usually men are more prone to smoking. Nowadays even female are also smoking. Race. In American culture they feel that smoking is an ideal thing, so many of them are developing the smoking behavior because of modeling. And ethnicity, education, mental health of a person, income status of a person, so these are all affecting the smoking patterns of a person. Next thing is patient behavior and healthcare associated infections. So here now we are facing the pandemic. In this, many of the persons and even the patients, they have got more exposure about this disease, so they are using the mask and even social distancing methods, preoccupied thoughts. They are having majority of the media influence, so peer influence also is there. Education status of a person is affecting the behavior. Next thing is eating behavior and anemia. Digestive pattern is a major determinant for food preference. That is, if food is getting digested, they are going to take the food. If person is having allergy to the food, if they are having any bad experiences related to the food, they are not going to prefer that food. Next thing is allergies of food. Some people are maybe having seafood allergies, that is iodine allergy, so they are not going to take the seafoods. Next thing is cultural aspects related to anemia. We see in Indian culture, many of the women, that is mothers, they eat food after all the family members eat. This is the major cause of anemia. Why? Because they may get adjusted with food which is being left over, or sometimes the food is not available to them. Say they even go on empty stomach, so because of this they are going to get the anemia because of malnutrition. So such type of things which are affecting the eating behavior. Next thing is STDs and human behavior. STDs are nothing but sexually transmitted diseases. So this is having social stigma. Social stigma means we cannot speak about these diseases openly in society. So such type of social stigma is affecting a person. Next thing is lack of information. We don't know from where we should get this type of information. If children are going to get puberty, and if there are secondary sexual characteristics are appearing in their body, so they don't know with whom they have to speak about these concepts and how to get the information. Many of the children don't even have the access to mobile, so they are at lack of information. They are even having some of the misconceptions about this sex and relations. So I will share an example to you. One of a person who has a postgraduate, he called me and asked me which are the methods of barrier methods which we can use during the sexual intercourse. So I referred him to Family Planning Association. They are having a lot of information. I even give him the web references. So like this information, who is going to give to the public? So this is most important. Next thing is openness to speak. Many of the person doesn't even speak these topics in public manner. Even the family members should be allowed them to speak about such concepts. Next thing is education in the schools. Nowadays many of the schools have inculcated this curriculum in their education. Even in the school education they are giving the information related to STDs, and there are some supportive networks which are available. Even social media support is also being available. And nowadays this situation has been improved a lot because of technology, and even there are some anonymous support groups who are helping this type of persons, and even cultural consideration need to be taken care of. Next thing is gender and behavioral determinants. Is gender affecting the behavior? Yes, obviously, because we see men are more prone to the aggression when compared to a woman. And next thing is social structure, that is it is linked to the gender linked behavior. That is it we are living in a patriarchal society or matriarchal society? is the men dominant in the society or women dominant in the society. If men is dominant in the society, man is more prone to get aggressiveness, and if woman is dominant in the society, woman is more prone to get the aggressiveness. That is, the power structures is affecting our behavior. Next thing is values. Parental expectations are determining the student success. If parents expectations are very high on a children, it is going to create some pressure and they are trying to perform, and it is affecting the student success. Next thing is females spend more time with the friends when compared to males. This is the psychological studies has proven, and so this is how we can see gender is affecting the behavior. This is a reference from which I have taken the information. Next thing is determinants of liking. Are we getting liked or not? Is if I feel that the other person like me or not, how is it happening? So if there are many studies, they have seen that, and they have proven that proximity is the first aspect. Proximity means how near we are to that person. That is the first thing which is going to improve the liking status of a person. And second thing is exposure, and next thing is similarity. Is there any similarities between us and them? So these are the aspects which we are going to see in the psychology of liking. Physical attractiveness is the most important aspect. If you are having good health, you are having a more chances of getting attracted. If your health is very poor, if your body is not having a good shape, or if you are not maintaining your physical health, automatically your likingness is going to get decreased. So this is the reference from which I have taken this step information. Next thing is determinants of driving and traffic behavior. You can see intention to commit traffic violation is the major determinant of the driving behavior of a person's. So even we are doing the accident analysis and we are seeing the prevention of road traffic accidents, and individual attributes are is a major determinant. Even the personality aspects, mood of a person is going to affect the behavior of driving. Emotions of a person, social norms, culture, internalization of legality in the society. These are all the determinants which are affecting the driving behavior of a person. Next aspect is aggression. Social determinants: poverty, frustration, media influence, parent behavior, accidents. And next thing is alcohol, which type of drugs we are going to take. And even the biological determinants are there. Hormones, male are more aggressive than women. Bodybuilding drugs are going to improve the aggression of a person, and because of this they are going to get the treatment like estrogen, progesterone, anti-androgens, which we are going to give. And even neural basis is there. There is a head injury. If we are going to see the stroke patient, they are getting aggressiveness because they feel that we are trying to understand everything, but they are not having a comprehensible language. When they are trying to say, we hear like someone is murmuring, but we are not going to understand anything. So that is going to cause a lot of aggression in a patient. So these type of aspects which we have to learn in a psychology. Next thing is determinants of learning. Any learning is good if we are going to apply. Now this lecture I am not just discussing the determinants. These are the determinants. I am giving you example how these determinants are applicable in daily life. So that is how we are going to improve the learning. This is how we are going to improve our memory also. Next thing is memory. Encoding. How this information is being encoded in your brain, how is it being processed, and how you are going to maintenance rehearsal. If you are learning a thing and if you are rehearsing, then you are going to remember it in a good manner. If you are not going to rehearsal, it is going to out of memory. Next thing is the major determinant is material first perceived. The first thing you get into your brain is the most stored in your memory. It is very difficult to erase. So this is how the memory works. So how it is being processed and understood is the determinant of a memory. So this is the end of the class. If you like my channel, subscribe, comment and share to your friends and family members. And we are going to continue this series with some more lectures, and share to your friends and the persons who are preparing for NET exams and also competitive exams. This information is rich resource of psychology. This information you cannot find in majority of the books because this information I have taken from the research studies. So it is a good compilation. So I want more encouragement from all of you subscribers to do such content. With your support, we are going to put some more videos. Thank you so much.